It has landed on the debt ceiling, and obviously...
Oh, that's hilarious.
And here's what I want to say
That's
about...
so good to talk about right now.
It is so...
Let's get on that one. I can't wait. Can I go?
It is time for the rant wheel. You know how it works.
Yes.
We spin the wheel wherever it lands. We rant about the topic. This week on the wheel, we have the kidney lady. We have kids with friends, baseball stadium sizes. We have the debt ceiling. We have Squid Game subtitles. We have daylight savings time. We have AT&T funding OAN. And we have the video game Outer Wilds. Let's spin the wheel. It has landed on the kidney lady.
Oh.
This is about Dawn Dorland, who donated a kidney and then wanted some support for her incredibly generous act from a writing community, and Sonia Larson, a successful fiction writer who used some pieces of Dawn's story to write a piece of fiction that looked at white saviorism and some other issues. It led to a very long story in the New York Times. Here's the correct view on this. 1, what Dawn did is incredibly generous. 2, it seems like there's something missing in her life that led her to seek validation from a community she wanted entrance to, but wasn't granted because they didn't view her as talented or worthy as they did others. That is sad, but that is life. 3, Sonia Larson, free to use things in the world to create her fiction, to build a world fictionally based on things she experiences in her life. She probably shouldn't have quoted the letter directly. She flew a little too close to the sun, but even that is a form of satire. She wasn't stealing the creativity of another person. She was using someone's real experience to inform and satirize through her work. 4, as part of this, we got to see private text messages between Sonia Larson and her friends. Any person who judges those private text messages should shut the fuck up. Oh, they were a little mean and a little caustic about someone they never thought in a million years would ever see that. God help us if none of your texts are half as bad as that. We all better get pretty fucking comfortable with the fact that we're all talking all the time. If we have zero privacy and total records all the time, we better get pretty fucking comfortable with the fact that people are more honest when they're in private than we're in public, and I think that is perfectly fucking fine. And Dawn is the villain. And it's tough to donate a kidney and still be the villain in the story. Do you know how hard that is? Do you know how much you have to fuck up giving a kidney to become the villain in the story of giving the kidney?
It's very difficult.
I think it's a really cool thing that she got that far. Agree or disagree, Jason?
I mildly disagree. Let me just say, first of all, I would be the person in the group chat that was like, oh, did she donate a kidney? I've never heard of that. I had no idea. That said, so the author knew that she was plagiarizing because she said, I'm directly plagiarizing, and then she changed the letter. So
yes. So here's what I would say.
She's a professional writer, and she knew that she shouldn't have done that.
So I think it's a subtle distinction, because if she was copying a fictional letter inside of a fictional letter she was writing, that would be pure plagiarism. But there's something about seeing something so exact and capturing a feeling that you want to convey through your fiction that you, as a kind of satire and wink, quote it directly.
She quoted it directly and then changed it.
Well, she changed it because she got a lawsuit from a person who was pretty wilding out.
Well, no, I think she changed it the first time pre-lawsuit because she knew it was a direct.
She said it. She says in her correspondence, which again none of us should have ever been able to see, that like it was too good. She couldn't stop herself. But then eventually she did.
Now, what about this though?
Hit me.
Post-lawsuit, and this is really bitchy, but also, anyway, she changes the sign-off to kindly, which is the way the woman always signs off on her missives. That was mean.
I don't want to live in a world where people can't be that kind of trolly, all right? That's why they compared her to Raymond Carver, you know what I'm saying?
Everybody came off looking really bad in that.
See, I don't agree. I don't agree. I think Dawn came off looking generous but fucked up, and Sonia kind of got out with just a ding, just a real kind of, it was a fender bender for Sonia. It was a car wreck for Dawn. Dawn's car is totaled. Sonia's car from one side looks perfect. Let's spin it again. It has landed on Kids with Friends or Friends with Kids.
Yes.
And it was suggested by Chris Kattan.
Whoa.
Thank you. Well, it's only because I suggested it because it's been a recent situation for me that I don't have a child in my life, and I'm not in a marriage. And I realize that almost all my friends are married and have children. And it's just hard to connect with them at a certain time when there's a child in the background. And also they use home. They say, like, my office is now at home. But it's not. That's not a good idea.
Yeah, because then your kid's at work with you.
There's a fucking kid in the background going like, and you're talking on Zoom or something, and you're like, so let's go over these notes, blah, 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 blah. And then they're like, oh, you did a little poop? I'm like, who are you talking to?
Maybe you.
It's possible. I do poop when
When you're giving
when
notes.
I'm on
When
Zoom.
you're getting notes.
That's true. When I give notes.
When I give notes, when I get notes.
When I get and give notes. Yes, that's true. I do poop. Well, you know what I mean? Like, it's very
Absolutely.
distracting. It's like, because the only way to communicate now, obviously, well, not the only way, but the most common way and the most comfortable way is through Zoom chat, and there's a lot of distraction going on in people's lives when in somebody's home.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's not the same.
I'll
And
tell
there's
you-
something about communicating in person
Yes.
that is like this.
This is
Look
better.
how much
There's no delay here. Look
Yeah.
at this. Look
We're
at
not
this rhythm.
zooming right
We're not
now.
zooming. We're back and forth.
We're like
it's
Hope
alive
and
with
Crosby.
tension. Yeah, them.
No, but you know what I mean? Like, it's a very, I kind of miss I do miss communicating with someone.
Well, I miss when there was when your spaces told you what you were supposed to be like. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Like, this is a space
that's-
where I'm working. This is a space when I'm home.
That's what I mean, like the separation. It's now become the same thing. The office now has a child. And every time I call, like, an agent, he's like, no, he's explaining COVID. And I'm like, why are you explaining COVID to me? And he said, no, my 7-year-old is asking why my office is no longer there.
Right, and that's troubling because it's A, you want to have a good conversation with the agent, and B, it's worrisome to find out that agents are reproducing. You know what I mean? It's like, my goodness.
That's also distracting.
It's hard
he
to think
should
about.
Stop. My agent should not have any children. That should be written down. Agents should not have children. Managers should not have families. They should be alone.
They should be alone and
working
grinding it
just
out.
Fucking.
It should be about money and nothing else. They should have empty, soulless existence
That's
where the
right.
only thing they think about.
I'm the one who's supposed to have a family.
You're supposed to have a family.
And I don't have a fucking
and
family.
you don't have a family. These agents are going out there with
With
strollers.
their fucking families
Amen.
and strollers, and they're in the park.
And you
all
don't have a
distracted.
family?
No, yeah, I
These
don't have a
fucking creeps.
Who? What?
These agents are creeps with kids.
I
They're
wouldn't
supposed
go
to be-
that far. I wouldn't say they're creeps. They have families.
They
but
have
that's
families,
enough.
and you don't.
They're like if Alec Baldwin were an agent. I 8 children.
Every day Alec Baldwin
He-
shows
he
up
won't
with a
stop
new
fucking.
kid. Some of those kids are 6 months apart.
They are. And all she does is do yoga, his wife.
A lot of yoga.
She does yoga and then comes back and they fuck. And then she goes off and does yoga again.
Yeah,
And that's his office.
and that's his office. And I'll tell you another thing. I see before me 2 possibilities: a future with kids, and then a future
Yeah.
being a fancy gay
Just-
person with no kids. I'm not into either. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do. Can we talk more about Alec Baldwin?
Sure.
No, I don't want to.
That's the problem with agents and their kids.
That is a problem. Well, I just think, well, also, this particular person was an editor, and he was like, to call between this time and this time, and his baby was like, and he was like, whoa. I was like, what's going on now? Like, and he's like, his baby, I said, my baby finally turned over, like, flipped over. I'm like, what?
Is it a waffle?
Like, like, you know how baby's like on its back and it's like, like that, and then he's like, yay! Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
We're talking about the script, ding dong.
Babies, dreams, and fancy dinners have this in common, which yours is interesting to you and no one else. You know what I mean?
That's true. I mean, it is a little bit selfish what I'm saying. It's
No,
only
I don't
because
think so.
if I had a child, it was like, okay, I got to go at 7 p.m. I have to go nurse my kid or something,
Yeah.
which I always do. Will do. I can't wait. I might make that mistake. And hopefully my wife will go, you're not supposed to be
You're not
nursing
supposed to
the
be doing
child."
that.
But-
This is somebody else's job.
That's right. That's save that for The Office.
Let's spin it again. It has landed on baseball stadium sizes, and I believe this was suggested by Jason.
It was. So I was watching the Yankees Red Sox wild card game. I'm not a fan of either team, but it's just kind of bullshit that the Red Sox can be like, we're just going to build like a 50-foot wall like on one side. Why aren't all these stadiums uniform?
Right.
The other thing is like, you score by hitting the ball out, and they're actively just like building a wall that won't let you do that.
Right. Why don't they have like a net?
Yeah, why
Like a
is
golf
this,
place.
Why is this allowed? Like, what if the Lakers were just like, okay, we're gonna have one side of the court is all mirrors that just shine in the opponent's eyes, and then the basket is 13 feet, and the backboard is like this big. It's like a third of the size. And that's fine because we began our sport in like 1880 when nobody had like uniform measurements. Why is this the case?
Yeah, I always think it's interesting because it's like, well, both teams play on the same field, but then they compare statistics from team to team. And I remember when I first heard as a child that the field in different stadiums were different sizes. And it was, to this day, one of the most shocking things I've
It's
ever heard.
shocking.
It shocks the conscience.
It's absolutely shocking.
They're getting bigger too,
They're getting bigger.
and they keep redoing them
And they keep redoing them.
because of the economy.
Because
we
of
need
the
to
economy.
make a bigger stadium.
They got to get more people in
We're
there.
like, this city needs to fucking grow. And they build it. They're like, that's a new
That's
stadium.
exactly how they say it in the meetings,
Yeah.
too. This
What meetings?
fucking city must grow.
Oh yeah.
They're
and they
basically
go
like-
what are we gonna do about it? Let's fix the city. Let's build another
Yeah.
fucking stadium.
Whoa, that's it.
Today on the docket for the city council, on one side, 20 schools. On the other side, a Loge level with a Shake Shack.
The Astros have like in the outfield, there's like a hill. Like the outfielder has to run up a hill to catch the ball.
I think that's cool. That one I support. I like that. I think it should be confusing and dangerous.
And like don't and then the other part of it is, and this is more the culture of the game, and I get it, but why is a major part of the sport just a guy being like, that looked good, that was in there, I think that's a strike, just by my eye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got computers now.
Yeah, like that looked close. I think that's in, and now you're a champion.
Did you see the game last night?
I did see it.
I didn't. I couldn't find the damn thing. I have a view of the stadium, and I couldn't get it on my channel. And I was like, did they win? And then I hear fireworks. I go, okay, I guess that was it. I didn't get to see the game. I heard I was like, oh, that's how I get to know scores. That's true. I'm not making
And
that up.
That's how I found out Chris Kattan is my neighbor.
Where do you live?
You guys are both able to see the Dodgers stadium.
Yes.
Let's spin it again. It has landed on the debt ceiling, and obviously,
Oh, that's hilarious.
and here's what I want to say
That's
about
so good to talk about right
Yeah.
now.
It is so.
Let's get on that one. I can't wait. Can I go? I seriously asked my mom before I did the show. I said, I'm not going to talk about that.
Yeah.
She said, bring that up.
It's almost like a crutch when you have the debt ceiling. It's so funny.
Yeah, it's my Thunder Road. You know what I mean?
Thunder
It's my
Road?
go-to. Here's what I wanted to say
Bruce
about the
Springsteen?
debt ceiling, which is this. I don't like it. Here's the thing. In a lot of movies, there'll be a moment where some character is paranoid and being blackmailed, and the character will go to the bad guys and say, hey, just so you know, if anything happens to me, I have an automatic thing set up where if every 3 days I don't respond to Jen triggers a switch
Whoa.
and the school blows up and all the money you've been hiding blows up. Maybe probably not a school if it's the hero. The vault blows up.
Stadium.
The stadium blows up. That's empty because the hero is doing this in the story.
That happened in Batman. The stadium blew up, remember?
It did
Bane.
happen in Bane.
I'm going to blow up the stadium.
That's
that's it.
exactly
That was
right.
it.
That did happen in A Dark Knight Rises.
And the
exactly
players,
true.
it was an amazing
The
shot.
player was it
It-
one shot.
They shot it over a period of 18 years because
Shot
it
it
was
over
so difficult.
People don't know that it took 18 years to get that
Just
shot.
like Forrest Gump, it took
It was-
about 8 years to shop around that script.
It took 26 years to make Forrest Gump and A Dark Knight Rises. People
Together.
don't know about
Those
that.
are the longest to be
Kids
made
were
films
born.
ever.
There are kids that were born at the beginning of those two films that actually went to Afghanistan. It's one of those situations. The point is, in those movies, it's like, if everything's okay, the thing doesn't blow up. But if I ever forget to press the button, things go wrong. Why do we have, at the heart of global finance, a little button that if you forget to press, everything falls apart? That if you don't remember to defuse the bomb every couple of months, everything blows up. Because if you've seen any movie where there's any kind of trigger such as this introduced in the first act, like
Right.
Chekhov's gun,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
going to destroy the global economy.
That's true.
The worst thing about it is it's literally the only irrational thing about our government.
Again, can I go? I don't want to talk about this. Can I put on my bird costume?
No, that segment is over.
Wow.
It was perfect and it is done.
I want to redo some. I thought
think
about it again.
I'd like upping the difficulty on the rant wheel where every 10 seconds or so, Chris Kattan asks to leave. It really, I think it's really.
I think I parked. You know how hard it was to get here? To get in this place?
It was
It's like Eyes Wide Shut difficulty. Like literally, you need a passcode and then go find this other guy, and
Yeah.
this guy will tell you.
wait
It
till you
took a
start.
week to get here.
I'll just tell you one thing: if you start to hear one piano note over and over again, run.
Oh, run. I'm going to show up to an Eyes Wide Shut party in a bird costume without my mask and go, hey, guys. And everyone else has a mask. They're like, you really fucked up. You just told us who you are.
You're not supposed to. Yeah, you're wearing your.
Yeah.
You
We
fucked
don't
up
need
the
to
Eyes
talk
Wide
about
Shut
Eyes Wide
party.
parties. Are those even parties? Never mind. Why did I go? Again, get me out of here. I'm
Now
trying
I'm
to protect
enjoying
myself.
this. Now I'm letting it linger. Guys, give it up for Chris Kattan, Jason Concepcion.